What's up, Malphas? It's your boy Malphas. I made looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. And it's another
Oh,
episode of Just a Fan. It's Thursday, and we with the gang. How's everybody doing?
I
It's a
would
beautiful
love to
day.
hear you go with that again.
There you go. Tori says it's a beautiful day. Joe is quiet.
All is well, man. All is well, man. I'm happy to be alive. We just chilling.
If you watched yesterday, he was Joe got a lot of extra charges put on him in the court. I don't know who that judge was. He was acting up, but we got a lot of news that Elon Musk buys Twitter. The whole internet is going crazy, good or bad. Certain people love it, certain people hate it. We gonna discuss it. Doctor Strange trailer released a lot of information that we didn't expect them to even release. So this movie gotta be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. And it's celebrities. Role models, good influences. Should you want to be like celebrities? We're going to talk about all that, including some breaking news that we found out earlier this week, today, whatever. Yes, it's a wild thing. We're going to talk about that later. But let's get into the show. Uniqo, your thoughts on Elon Musk actually buying Twitter?
I don't know enough about him to like know what direction he's going with this. I don't know him personally.
Free speech, Joe.
I don't,
Free speech.
Free speech.
I mean, man, that's this could turn back into Xbox Live parties, man. Xbox Live,
Very easily.
rooms and stuff, man. We don't need it. We don't need to go backwards, or we don't need to go too far back as far as free speech goes. Like, I seen some today. Not Ken Griffey, Denny Hamlin, or one of them NASCAR people. He put up a meme with the Asian driver being bad on the Family Guy. And he put that up there in reference to his friend, who is part Japanese, I believe. That's a NASCAR driver. He did this like kind of, I think they call it the Talladega or something, but he tried to do this move and like 20 something, 30 cars crashed, something like that. And he's under fire for that meme. NASCAR has immediately made him go to sensitivity training. Sensitivity training that has to start this week. So it's like, yo, that's not over the top, and it just got me starting to think about an underground fight club that's all just a comedy venue that nobody knows about. You gotta keep it a secret, and you can say any joke you want to. So, but I just don't know enough about Elon Musk. He just seems to be like a billionaire that does stuff. Let's not forget he's been on SNL, and it was weird. And apparently he's on the spectrum for autism. I mean, what is your
South African?
And if you're talking about free speech, the first thing you got to do is make former President Trump's Twitter account active again.
Yep. He said he ain't coming
let
back.
misinformation be spread. So I don't know enough about him to know what direction he wants to go. I'm just gonna sit back and watch. And then the day that I don't see a random girl getting banged out or some kind of random black people do this, and the day I stop seeing that stuff is the day that I guess I'm done with Twitter. But if they let people be more outrageous and wild, then hey,
let's go.
Yeah. I want everybody to remember, though, just because he allows you to say and don't get banned on Twitter, there are still people out there that will send it to your job.
Yes. He is not ending cancellation.
They will send it to your job and you will get fired. So there's still consequences to it. It just, you won't get banned on Twitter anymore.
But if you're good enough at saying stuff that can get you fired and enough people follow you, it turns into income. So
there you go.
Now you're the boss, because they're going to allow you to keep on spitting the rhetoric that got you fired. So hey, like minds.
Well, don't risk it. Trust me, it's getting full. When the cup gets full of people saying outrageous things, it kind of listens to all. It's basically like, if a bunch of people start doing podcasts, the podcast market become more watered down. Hard to get your things seen. So if everybody start going crazy, it's less likely to be seen. It worked in 2009 because not many people was on Twitter. So 2010.
Now it's a different ball game.
Yeah, everybody's on Twitter, and then everybody starts saying crazy stuff. Then you kind of get desensitized and don't care no more, and then everybody just leave Twitter. And that's it. Tori, your
I'm not
thoughts?
gonna lie. If he really banned his girlfriend as his first act of his ex as his first act of owning Twitter, this would be a wild time.
Tori, your thoughts on Elon Musk buying Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this kid, man, as an avid Twitter troll, this is either the rise of an amazing era or this is the beginning of the end. I wonder because Elon Musk is he's a shit poster just like the rest of us, just with a lot of money.
Define the rest of us.
People that's
Okay,
on
all of
4chan.
us that are on Twitter and just saying whatever comes to our mind without worrying about what other people think. He's one of those just with a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, look at the random meme that he sent out about Bill Gates. Like, that was funny, but at the same time, is he gonna keep on letting us get off the wild Elon Musk memes that we've been getting off? Because we've seen multiple cases where Elon Musk has went out of his way to single out people that have significantly targeted him on social media. So now that he owns the toy store, so to speak, how long before he bans all of us from having fun in it? Or does he let it become the wild, wild west again? And we're for real headed back to 2009 Twitter, and everybody's dropping N-bombs regardless of race.
Oh yeah, they all getting fired, dog.
There's all kinds of.
What Scott
When I
Jackson?
think about all the people in Twitter that were threatened with SA back in the day. I mean,
Scott Jackson is on the job on Twitter right now, ready to find your job and send it to you right now.
But as long as he doesn't take away all the random OnlyFans girls and low budget snuff films, we're gonna be okay.
I'll tell you like this: if he bans somebody that goes against his account or goes against anything that he says, I just want to be the first to say that I'm not getting in that protest. My account's not banned. I'm gonna be on Twitter. I don't care if I'm standing there like the Fresh Prince at the end. I don't care what y'all say about it. If y'all ban him, but I know that opens a door. Like that's dictatorship. Like you got to stop stuff, or like how our constitutional rights work. If you let them keep on infringing on them, that just becomes the norm. So we don't want it to become the norm that he just starts banning people because they talk shit about him. But at the same time,
I got a grip of Elon
it's pretty bad for me to let that happen.
But he already like one of his workers, then they got exposed. You know when somebody happened, they expose people. So basically, somebody wrote something bad about Tesla on Twitter, and he like fired them and told them to or never get on Twitter, and then banned everybody from getting on Twitter. So I'm like, okay, so you don't have a direct history of doing this, so I don't know if it's actually true. By the way, you know, certain group that hate him, that hate the rich people, they have a whole 200 thing thread of him blocking people, banning them, trying to get them kicked off Twitter. I'm like, so
he blocked his ex. So allegedly.
So they're like, oh, you for free speech, and then went on a whole like diatribe of everything he done did to try to kick people off Twitter and make sure they don't get on there, say nothing bad about him or something he does. He had a reviewer that reviewed a Tesla, a YouTuber. They had a YouTuber that I saw on that allegedly. They had a YouTuber that like reviewed a Tesla, and then he like try to like sue him for what he said on Twitter. So I'm like, oh, so you don't. So we know people like, I don't know if he's gonna do that or not, but we know like people like to claim they're for something, and then when it's don't agree with them, they're against it, because a lot of people do it. Especially
this is a huge power.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
This is a huge power up he's getting. He gets to control basically the biggest form of information. He gets to control what goes out there, and that's and we see
when
how
news breaks.
We see how people have used information and misinformation to lead people astray. So if he's the only quote unquote news source and people getting their only news from there, like typically a lot of times I do.
Same here. They say news breaks first on Twitter now. Like
most of the time,
anything that crazy happens in the world, you're gonna hear about it on Twitter first.
Going trend. Monterey, your thoughts on the Twitter?
Big Daddy Musk buying Twitter.
I have come to say this once again, since both of these people seem to be very afraid for what I really believe is no reason. I will explain why. First and foremost,
I'm not.
Twitter is bigger than one person, even the owner to a certain extent. You're not going to invest 44 billion into something and then proceed to like ruin it and make it go away.
PayPal.
Everything that he is just he is a billionaire. He is a businessman. He is going to want to make money even though he made it private. But to make it private doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to cut it off from the public. That's not what that means. First and foremost, before he even got interested in buying Twitter, Twitter had already had a subscription service called Twitter Blue that you pay like $3 extra or something like that. So you can have like
you get an edit button from it.
And he's already spoken about that, that needs to be less and you need to be able to take away advertisements and stuff like that. The problem is everybody saw Elon Musk buy Twitter, but nobody actually looked into what he was actually doing. I'm going to tell you some of the things he's already outlined that he wants to do with Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a few of them. One, he wants to add an edit button, which is something that was greatly needed in Twitter long before now. He wants to add an edit button. He wants to have long form tweets, which would be to extend the character limit of something that you can type on Twitter so that people can put on their whole full essays or whatever they want to put on there instead of having to retweet and add it to it. Limiting things like spam bots, opening the algorithm to the public, which is actually letting you know how the algorithm works on Twitter, which is something that nobody knows about.
That would be huge.
And he said he wants to put it on a site where programmers actually can look into the algorithm and see how it works. He already said he wants to do that. He wants to, free speech was something that he had already said would come to, I want to do free speech, but
actual person verification.
He actually wants to loosen up a little bit more content. Now the thing I understand is that people was like, I want to be afraid of if you're going to ban people. Okay, let's be real. If you are a businessman, you are not going to want somebody that's slandering your product out there in the world, especially on one of the biggest information networks in the world. Let's stop this. If we were all businessmen and somebody's outright slandering your work, you're going to be pissed at them, whether it's right or not. So I'm not going to necessarily blame him. He's a businessman and you are directly impacting my product. Why would I allow you to be out there just slandering me for no reason? If it's an actual reason, then you carry it forward from there. But no, let's stop this. And then he wants to limit the bots, with something that he wants to do. He said some of the things that he wants to do with Twitter. So I'm not, and then like we've seen from Elon Musk, he's not a normal billionaire. No, he's been a bit of a troll, that kind of stuff. His image in the media is not as uppity, I guess, as a lot of these businessmen and stuff. He's been out in the media.
Mad scientist, kooky.
So, if you really had somebody else on my Twitter, he's probably one of the people that you'd be like, okay, I'd be willing to give this a chance. Versus some of these other billionaires around the world, you'd be like, oh, well, it's going to get locked down or whatever. If he outright said, hey, I just want free speech, or I want to lessen the pressure of Twitter, because the thing about it, Twitter now doesn't have to worry about making money from things like advertising and stuff because it's flat out owned by somebody. So it doesn't really have to be so pressured on things like advertisements or all that kind of stuff. So he can loosen it up a bit. So for me, go ahead. At the worst case scenario, it's not going to be a dictatorship of Twitter. You're not going to ruin Twitter by making it a dictatorship. Okay, you can only talk about these things. Because if you do that, you can only talk about these 5 subjects on Twitter and anything else is going to get banned or automatically deleted. Well, Twitter's not going to last a week. So of course he's not gonna do anything like that. We can just stop that mess. Now when it comes to the extra stuff or what, the films Tora was talking whatever. To be honest, probably can't stop that anyway because people can make accounts all day and night and put whatever they want on there for a limited amount of time. So
Zuckerberg stopped it and Facebook died.
And the only way you'd be able to shut that kind of thing down would be to get rid of OnlyFans in and of itself because there are a lot of people that use that to market their own things, whether it be OnlyFans or other things. So you have to you shutting down so many different things that it's just more likely no. It's just you're gonna loosen up a bit. It's gonna be more private. There's gonna be something like Twitter Blue or be upgraded. Be this is Twitter Sky Blue where there's no advertisements on this. It's $1.99 a month. You have more. You can put up more things on there. You can put resumes, essays. Who knows? Something like that. But do I think it's gonna make an extreme change to Twitter? No. No, it would make no sense to do that because if you do an extreme change, you're either going to alienate your base that you already have had on there, or you're just going to make it better. And the likelihood that you make extreme changes is always going to alienate some people. So, no, I don't expect no extreme changes. I expect them to do at least the basics of what he said. And then after that, you're going to pretty much forget that Elon Musk owns Twitter. That's probably what's going to end up happening. Everybody knows it now. He's going to implement a few changes, and afterwards, it's going to go back into the limelight. Okay, now it's Twitter normal.
I personally don't believe Twitter gonna change, so I do agree with Monte. But like I said, the mad genius sometimes does go crazy. like he did with PayPal. But other than that,
here's your opportunities, May. You didn't try to make that joke hit 3 times about PayPal already.
It hit.
I don't think it's not a joke though.
No, really it's not. No, Joe, if you use PayPal 7 years ago to now, you know how much.
Like, I'm gonna use this for an example. Do you really believe that Elon Musk would limit? And this is nothing against like Kevin Durant or anything of that nature. But do you think that Elon Musk would limit Kevin Durant's interactions with the public, no matter how like funny or toxic they may be? You think he's gonna limit that kind of stuff? No, that's free, wonderful publicity. Screw that, man. No, he's not gonna limit stuff like that. Man, please.
Yeah, he just spent $44 billion. You're
not gonna waste that money. He's gonna okay. I'm just gonna don't need to be there, and then afterwards, y'all go crazy. Like, I'm trying to get into space. I ain't worried about Twitter. And that's the funny thing. He bought Twitter within about a week and a half. He was like, you know what? I want to buy Twitter. And a week and a half, he owns Twitter. That lets you know money runs down.
After they told him no.
But besides that fact, just
they're gonna try to take the poison pill. The CEO.
He's gonna make He's gonna be a few edits and changes. He's gonna give it to like a Twitter marketing team. Hey, y'all gonna do these edits and these changes. After that, I'm finna go worry about going back to space.
He trying to get to Mars, y'all.
It's like it's Twitter. It's like, okay, I got Twitter. Cool. Y'all work on these things, and once y'all do that, I'm focusing back on Mars.
Don't ban anything. I'm talking about.
Twitter.
Sometimes you need the wild way. But if my whole thing was I just warning people that you just because he owned it don't mean there won't be consequences.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people get murked on Twitter though. Maybe reduce that just a little bit.
And that's not on Elon might not ban you, but I'm just saying in real life you can't just go out there spew racism if you're a doctor at this hospital and then everybody see it and then we send you to the hospital, you still gonna be fired.
There might be a decent trade-off though, but you know.
Yeah.
But like I said about the market watering down, like I said, I don't think much gonna happen. I think he might make some dope changes. He might make some stuff iffy. It's always something, you'll never know. I don't think he's gonna, like I said, PayPal, I make the PayPal joke 3 times, but PayPal was one of his earlier investments. I don't think he cares much about it as much as he do now.
Never forget he threw a brick through the bulletproof Tesla window.
No, he did do that. He's a wild man.
That rascal.
Now, one of our favorite topics on the show, Doctor Strange trailer came out. And we learned a lot.
30 seconds of it.
Yeah, we learned in 30 seconds, we learned a lot. We learned that the Illuminati will see you now. We also learned that the Living Tribunal was in the trailer. And everybody lost
give me
their
null
mind.
if we're getting the goddamn Living Tribunal. Quit playing with me.
So I want to know Munray thoughts on the Living Tribunal and the Illuminati. 2 judges in one movie? 2 hours?
I mean, the Living Tribunal, I don't think that's, I'm going to be honest, I don't really think that's like a big thing. I don't really believe they're just going to like do a lot. Like, we're going to be
here.
They
regulate law in the multiverse.
No. This is what I don't think the Living Tribunal is just going to be like, okay, we're going to do this, and that. Like, they might be there. You might speak with them a little bit. After that, like, this is just a view. You get to see me, work this, and this is what you need to do, and that's it. Like, I don't think the Living Tribunal will come in and just like sweep a lot of stuff. Nah, because otherwise the movie wouldn't be 2 hours. It'd be 2 minutes. Living Tribunal
they just go in there and fix it.
Snap their fingers, and all of a sudden we good. So now I don't expect like them appearing is definitely momentous, but I don't think that. My more important thing is the fact that Baron Mordo, if I saw him correctly, was the one that introduced the Illuminati. Like, excuse me, I'm gonna need y'all to explain this. Because as far as I know, last time he was literally killing people, killing other mages and things because he didn't agree with certain aspects of them. And now all of a sudden y'all got him introducing y'all. Excuse me, like somebody got to explain this to me. Like how is he the one introducing y'all? Are y'all aligned with him? Do y'all agree with him murdering other mages? Like. Somebody got
went to Africa, got some braids, and now he good. Like, you know what I'm saying? He happy. He smoked some weed. He grew his hair out. Became like Tim Duncan.
I'm gonna need somebody to explain that to me. Like, how did he go from being the evil person in the end of the last movie because he rebelled and killing other mages to Illuminati, yo, you cool enough you can introduce us, huh?
Well, the Illuminati aren't inherently good.
The Superior Iron Man, if he is in there, he is not a good guy.
Y'all gotta explain this one to me. Like I'm straight up, they have to explain how y'all swing from him being good to him being your introduction. Like,
Yeah, Superior.
So
like,
the Tor that blew me away automatically. Then just who we gonna fight, all the other crazy things in the movie. That's fine. That is what I gotta see. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to explain more to me because now I don't even know his role in the movie.
What?
I thought it was gonna be evil. Now I'm just who the enemy? Like who the enemy? What's the point? Like,
Well, technically, Illuminati ain't technically good guys because they go and murder universes to protect their own. So
I was about to say they be shutting shit down.
I mean, they good for the universe of Earth.
Well, technically, Mordo does the same thing. There's mages that do bad things, so it's too many mages. Their thing is too many universes, and they collide.
Yeah, Mordo ain't getting rid of a universe. He was just getting rid of a few mages. Either way, somebody has got to.
Yeah, I'm saying Superior Iron Man kind of way worse because he's like, hey, it's too many universes. They collide. Let's go just eliminate billions of people.
I need this explained.
We kind of aligned. Let's go. It's too much magic.
I need this explained.
People crazy.
You got to explain this to me. Namor ain't going for this, bro. You got to explain.
Not at all.
Namor is not going for this. Somebody got to explain
for every Atlantis that was destroyed in each other.
I can't see Namor going with this. I know Professor Xavier is extreme, but Mordo? Like come on.
I don't know. We talking post Swords of X? Charles Xavier here. He ain't.
That's all I need. Somebody explain. Somebody explain.
Tori, your thoughts on, like I said, the living. By the way, if they showing Living Tribunal and announce Illuminati, it's
a gateway to some really badass characters, like some really heavy hitters.
And the movie only 2 hours, bro. It's only 2 hours. They don't do a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot to do.
They don't do a lot in 2 hours.
Yeah. And like I said, Tori, Illuminati and Living Tribunal, and they debuted them. That means the surprises are gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, the fact that that's what I took away from this. The fact of the stuff that they are willing to show us in these trailers makes me wonder about what's actually coming in this movie. Because, like, the Living Tribunal could be out of a goddamn end credit scene if we're going to keep it a stack, and people would be like, oh, okay. Because now we're getting...
That makes more sense based off a 2-hour runtime.
Because
I don't think that's it, because when they showed them, they was going through universe and Living Tribunal, like, where y'all going?
Yeah, like y'all
supposed to be jumping through universes.
What if it's a cameo? Maybe I take a cameo. I just can't fathom 2 hours.
If they have the cameo though, that opens the door for real planet busters. For real.
What I think is gonna be though, I'm gonna be honest. I think they're gonna be traveling the universes. The three heads gonna judge them, and they're gonna be like, no judgment. And then they're gonna go continue to jump through the universe.
Because does each head of the Living Tribunal, I was gonna say they have to come to an actual full agreement, but they each cover like a different aspect. There's one head that's for magic, one that's for technology,
revenge,
I was gonna say they each govern a different body of the multiverse, if you would. So I'm really. It just offered a lot more questions. And I'm like, man, I already had so many coming into this movie. And you literally just slapped.
We talking about X-Men, they on Living Tribunal stuff.
But like I said, Living Tribunal gonna come in, judge. It probably gonna take 2 minutes. They ain't gonna be able to agree, and they gonna let Wanda do whatever Wanda want. Because I think gonna have to do it Wanda. Because Wanda busting through universes is just taking.
Yeah, she played with the fabric of the universe a little bit too willy-nilly.
So they gonna judge her and be like, we can't. And then one of the heads gonna be like, she just wanted kids, man. Just let her get a kid, and then they gonna.
Because if we're gonna keep it a stack, I've seen the Living Tribunal pop in for stuff way less than what Wanda's been doing.
Living Tribunal always pop in on Doctor Strange, especially the early Doctor Strange.
To be fair, Wanda hasn't done anything much yet.
Well,
they popped in on Silver Surfer for going too fast on his surfboard in space before, bruh. Like, hey, you gotta slow down there, buddy. Like, for real, like, bruh.
Living Tribunal will hate Flash, dog.
The fact that we haven't got them involved before now.
Yeah, they got to do something crazy if it.
They got that exact thing. Like they can't just show up and render a judgment. They have to like throw out some cosmic smitiness or.
No, I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna disagree. I think they're gonna be a case gonna be made. Maybe the Illuminati make the case against Wanda now.
That would be cool. Just a whole the Illuminati arguing with the Living Tribunal. I know that wouldn't be like a supreme action scene, but I feel like the amount of exposition on the universe at large that we could get from that conversation alone.
Or Strange might have to convince them himself.
Oh, yeah. And the Celestials, and of course the Celestials is out here. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, they got to listen to the Living Tribunal. Like the Living Tribunal. I mean, that's the next step before we get to like the one above all and the one below all.
Well, the Beyonders kind of jumped them in the fucking whooped it.
I don't. Are we gonna get the Beyonders though?
If you want Secret Wars, you gonna get them.
Well, then I need Null because the Beyonders are just as bad.
You want Null so bad.
I really do. I'm an advocate this every time Marvel's brought up.
Yo, Kevin Feige wants Secret Wars. Tori just want Null. I'm like, Venom 3 is coming out.
I just want Null.
Venom 3 is coming out.
I'll be honest with you. If they put the Living Tribunal in this, I frankly don't even care anymore. Anybody can show up.
See, that's what I'm saying. You've already
I'm gonna be honest with you on this one. I can't even fight that. The Living Tribunal popping up in this movie already, screw it. It can be anybody in the Marvel universe.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I did not think they were pulling that. So you put the Living Tribunal in it, you know what? Screw it. Anybody could be there.
Because we thought the Celestials were big money. For real. We thought,
they are. To be fair,
we're getting the taste of
the Celestials is technically only under who? Beyonders and Molecule
the
Man.
Beyonders, the Living Tribunal, the one above all.
They did fine.
And then the Celestials.
So but to be fair, they didn't make the Celestials do much.
But I don't think, like I said, I don't believe that Living Tribunal gonna do much but judge somebody for like a few minutes.
Yeah, I think Monte's right. There's gonna be an argument between the three heads at some point. That's sort of their gimmick.
There's an explanation in there to be had, and I think that's gonna take 12 to 15 minutes though out of the runtime.
Yeah, I think that's
like you can't just give me a quick little 2-minute discussion.
I say with Wanda, you have to give her plenty of talking time between her and Dr. Strange.
I think Dr. Strange gonna defend Wanda.
Which is fine. No, I'm talking about just in general.
And Illuminati gonna go against them.
They still gotta have that conversation about why are we doing this. You gotta go and show you gotta show that she's going through universes trying to find her kids in a multiverse that she doesn't exist in. I guess that's her point.
Find her kids that didn't technically ever exist.
That didn't technically ever exist.
She just gonna go take some. That's from another one to something.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Feige likes to stay. I've noticed this. Kevin Feige likes to stay close to canon, as close to canon as he can, but still switch it up. Like it'll be the start that you remember from the comic books, and it'll end in some new and inventive way, or vice versa. It won't start like anything we've seen, but it'll end in a well-known storyline. So
I'm still claiming Chthon, so whatever.
Like Moon Knight, the same thing. Moon Knight, they basically they had the scene at the end of Moon Knight, which is at the beginning of the comic book. It's literally the same beginning. Except for it's in the end of the show instead of the beginning. When he's in the hospital, he got the two guys who's supposed to take care of him. They just made it make a little more humanly sense, because in the comic book it was like some weird thing that happened.
Don't be role models for Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, my taste thinks everybody's an idiot, but it's entertaining.
Don't take your role model from Moon Knight. That's all I know.
Yeah, do not take your Moon Knight from. Your role model from Moon Knight. Joe,
put it on a TikTok.
Joe, don't you laugh, Joe.
Put it on a TikTok.
Okay, I'm putting. I held back. I had some Joe. Your stuff going on TikTok today, Joe.
Put it on a TikTok.
By the way, speaking of influences, Monday brung it in good, and I screwed it up. So celebrities, are they good influences?
Miss that alley-oop. Monte lobbed it up there. Zelma ain't catch it.
Let me
I felt like Rudy Gobert even hit his dog. I'm messing up.
Uniqo say he want to go into this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take off on this one, man, if y'all don't mind.
Let's get it.
We talking about, so what really kind of, we were already talking about it, like, you know, how influencers and celebrities and stuff like that, how they influence kids and all that extra stuff. And it's levels to that. You know, and there's some things you want to do like LeBron James. I'd say that that's somebody that you wouldn't mind your kid looking up to. You know, we don't know everything about him. Just like I'm pretty sure a lot of people, you know, a lot of kids looked up to Jack Sparrow. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and we seeing that in peer view right now. There's a lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes. Did you know this girl took a shit in Jack Sparrow's bed?
And he was okay with it. He thought it was hilarious.
So, you know, they don't know that. But, you know, there's all these reports about all these drugs he was doing behind the scenes. So Jack Sparrow, maybe Jack Sparrow can be your role model, but not the person who plays him. I don't know if that's the direction you want your kids to go down. I mean, but then you get that middle part, which is like we had the Bad Baby, the girl that came from Dr. Phil, and
Danielle Bregoli. Let's not come on now.
Bregoli. And all she did was talk crazy. And what we call it when they appropriate black culture, and she went on there and acted quote unquote acted like she was black, was disrespectful. And here we are years later, and she just showed the receipts, y'all. Since like last April or so, she's made $52 million freaking dollars off of OnlyFans. And Monray, tell them what they show.
Baby girl don't show nothing. Baby girl is like spicy Instagram pics, and I know this because of research. It is not because I have subscribed myself. Please do not be fooled by that. It is literally because once you put
the bottom 0.001%,
it can be found by anything and anybody. Please remember that. Once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. So Reddit does exist, people, but you know, we ain't gonna talk about that.
All right, let's go. Kanye putting the people
by the research. Baby girl don't show much of anything. Don't really do much. That is surprising because we remember.
And she got crazy veneers that don't look right.
It went viral that people were just signing on willy-nilly, waiting on her. And I'm just like, bro, what?
Let's be honest. Them child stars, as soon as they hit a certain age, them creeps be out there ready.
That's crazy.
They be ready.
Yeah, she had fans when she first went viral. We'll say that, and she continued to have more viral moments after Dr. Phil.
I don't think anything was viral, dog.
She owed Dr. Phil some of that.
Only thing that was viral was that alleged relationship with Young Boy. We know what they're saying.
That's what they saying. What they say, Kodak might have been hollering at her before then, like they was dating or something, allegedly. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying all to say this. Here's what we have to come to grips with. Most dudes wouldn't want they daughter to have to use their child to make a lot of money or to make money, period.
But 50 million, bruh.
But 52 million to essentially not do anything. I mean, I might be able to look the other way on that if I'm a dad, and I can definitely close my eyes for $52 million.
That's enough money to turn the other cheek, yo.
I don't approve, but can you give me these Laker tickets for the rest of the year?
I approve anybody that's gonna go out there and make that kind of money off of anyone, regardless of how you getting it, legal or otherwise. Shout out to you.
Buy me an interview with Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Buy that for
me. Joe? That would not be. That would just be. I ain't gonna get Joe his Kanye interview, but he don't need $52 million to get.
We're not cold email Kanye. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm a cold email Kanye and see if he give Joe an interview. We're gonna try it. We're gonna do it. Cold email works.
That's where I'm at with it. I mean, there's some that can be role models. Then there's some that put out portrayals that they're not exactly role models behind the scenes. And then you got some people where it's like iffy, where it's like it's working for them. But at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to who your kids' role models are going to be are based off of the values you put into them. Because you know, it's people that's out there that love to be in the streets and want to be thugs and all that type of stuff. You should be potentially teaching them that's not the life that you want to live, looking over your shoulder and murdering people and always in trouble. You shouldn't glorify that. But look at this brother here. He over here beating some drums. You want to try playing the drums? Maybe you can play overseas, playing Europe, but it comes from what you taught. And, sometimes kids don't have nothing to hold on to in at all. And that's
the lack of role models is going to force kids to find their own.
Yep, they have to find some kind of way of life that makes sense to them based off of the things they're going through. What we're going to have an episode of top 5 that's coming out or has come out, And you know, and that's a lot about anime, and a lot of people have looked out to even anime characters as I feel like Yagami. I feel him. I can't see myself murdering anybody.
Okay, there we go. I was waiting. I was like, dang. I was like,
right?
Everybody change your governments. Joe's got a death note, and it ain't looking too nice for us.
Hey, I'd rather be on his side than against it.
But that's my thoughts on it, man. Whoever's next, man. That's just where I'm at. I just think it's really
Joe get one too many of them mugs. It'll be a wild weekend.
It's a lot of stuff. The baby out here knocking people out randomly that he signed. Hey, bro.
And now Rolling Stone trying to put the baby down with that
murder.
With the tape footage that we saw. Even though if you watch that tape, you can see old dude that gets shot. Like you can see him show the baby. You can see him lift his shirt and show him. I saw somebody trying to say,
I'm from the hood. If I don't do that to you, bro, you shoot first, dog. You
I didn't notice it until somebody said, it don't look nothing like my phone.
I was looking at who the baby was fighting first. I wasn't looking at dude in the black coming from around the back. Somebody actually had to post it on Twitter, like, you see dude pull this out
exactly.
At the end. I was like, oh. But why did he walk around all tough and macho man like that after that? He was bumping into carts and stuff. The baby was. And I think
when you're out with your wife and kids and you trying to make a come up in your city, you're a little known rapper at this point, but well enough known to where people might try you, especially if you're still in your own city. Unfortunately, I mean, Joe, we live in Indiana. This is a stand your ground state. This is a legal carry state. This is you could get in a gun battle at any time and not go to jail state.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, okay, this would be my thoughts.
Because I know a gang of niggas that have shot people and got away with it on self-defense.
I'll leave it at this. Like, and just to the original question, no, you should not. You should not.
No, not at all.
Celebrities be your role models for just.
You don't want that Jada and Will love.
You can't. Like a few of them, you can. I mean, Will and Jada. I ain't got to go into Will and Jada. I can go to freaking Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. I can go to that recent message.
We all know C Lion. Tory hit that. Shout out to
ain't gotten to go on one that involves violence. I can look straight up at Future, which I respect the Future. He finna come out with his album. We're gonna take.
What's it called?
I respect the Future. Future has, I think, 7 or 8 kids. Somebody asked
I thought he had 10.
Future, do you want any more kids?
Young boy,
like, yeah, I want like 2 or 3 more with my wife. You want 2 or 3 more with your wife, but you weren't considering this when you made 7 or 8 kids. Like this kind of stuff, no. Like, I don't know. So, in my opinion, no, you should not make celebrities because 1, you don't know them. 2, majority of the personas that you look up to are horrible in most aspects. When it comes to positive personas, like, oh, well, do you hear anybody be like, I want to be like Obama? Nope. You don't hear nobody that want to say that. You hear somebody be like, I want to be like The Rock. Everybody with that? Nope. You don't hear none of that. You just hear, oh, dang, I'm gonna be like Future. I'm gonna be out here in these streets. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, no.
Yeah,
like,
7 kids. That's right.
You look up to aren't positive. Like if you say that about positive role models, people that are generally good people or good, sure, you can go with that. But the majority of the role models people look up to, they're not. So no, in my opinion, no. Your role model should be somebody positive within your circle of influence, within people that you know, or people that are like closer to your aspirations or things you can look forward to. Like people say, okay, I want to be like LeBron James. That's fine because he's a positive role model. But majority of people are fans of LeBron James. They don't necessarily say they want to be like LeBron James. There's a huge difference in that aspect. So like, no,
there's a lot of work to be done to do that too.
I mean, yeah, that too. But like people are like, I want to be like LeBron James because LeBron's had the same girlfriend since high school. Like, and then they got married. You don't hear nothing about no scandals or nothing that he's a part of. You don't even hear nothing about LeBron's kids. You guys, most of the LeBron friends.
We saw Bronny getting blazed.
Like please, like you can ask most of LeBron fans what are the names of LeBron's children. They can't even tell you.
Well, I know Bronny because he played basketball, but other than that,
I was gonna say I only know Bronny. We all know I don't watch no goddamn basketball.
And he on Face Clan too.
They're just like the fans of the player. So like, it's the difference between being a fan of somebody and actually having them being your role model. Like, so majority of the role models that I hear just that people aspire to, and the majority of people that are celebrities are not good role models by the personality that they portray or the persona that they put out there. Not necessarily say that them people are not good people, but you don't necessarily know them, and the persona that they put out there majority of the time isn't good. So no, they shouldn't be.
I know people that Young Boy probably one of the person I see most people want to be. That is why Go to any Florida gas station,
like,
dog. I promise you, they play YoungBoy and all of it's a bunch of dudes in a muscle shirt with their hand in pant do that same stupid walk around the gas station. I'm like, bro, why is it 20 YoungBoy clones around the gas station?
And can't one of them rap nowhere near as decent.
I'm like, why is this? By the way, YoungBoy passed Future this year. He got 8 kids at 21 years old.
You say 8?
He got 8
or 18?
8.
Oh, I thought you said 18 for a second. I was like,
I got cats in my city that ain't got nowhere near that are my age. They ain't got nowhere near the money that them niggas got, and they got more kids than them.
Gang of kids.
Golly.
They have 8 at 21 years old.
Oh man, I don't know when they went in, but they got some grown kids.
Young boy he gonna have 18
I know a couple brothers that are like 24 and got 10 kids. So
he gonna beat that Tori. Young boy gonna beat 10 by 24. He got what 3 more years? He 100% gonna beat.
Yeah.
That. Don't he got one? Ain't Yaya pregnant? Or she just had a baby.
The baby earlier. The baby got 4. He ain't short stopping. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna start with this.
By the way, to Monte's point, no, you do not. To Monte's first point, you don't know these people
at all.
These people could be the worst human beings ever.
I'm done.
And there's like we played that line from J. Cole for like 4 years. Will and Jada Love, and that's like a meme line. You know how many people?
Bruh.
You know how many people said that line to her?
And now Will Smith in India hiding from the rest of us.
That man out here say he's in India, but yeah, stuff like that. You don't know these people. We don't know nothing about from the Megan Tory. People jump on the side automatically. We don't know nothing. Every day somebody drops something.
Don't believe her Gayle King interview.
That was a terrible interview, but
CBS that do it for me.
Tory hit that. I'm telling y'all,
she might be
that
lying about that.
I didn't even watch it. They said they saying it's like the new Jussie Smollett.
I have no
she
clue.
Looks crazy.
But I don't know nothing about this case.
I gotta go look at it.
I'm done. I'm done.
I have said my piece on it until actual news come out. I have no clue. The Gayle King interview didn't look good, but then they came out with text messages that the woman that say Q said something that she's like, "Oh, Tory just shot her," and then I'm like, "Okay, I don't."
But it's all gonna come down to court though, because there's a lot of stuff in this case that we've seen and heard, and if we learned anything from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, hearsay is not admissible, folks.
And by the way, if your lawyer, if you have a lawyer, do not have a lawyer that object to himself when he asks a question.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see the lawyer like? Was you there when he cut himself? Objection, Your Honor. She like, that's your question.
I was going to say, that's your line of questioning.
That's your question, right?
He knew it was a dumb question. He wanted it stricken from the record.
Real quick. Hey.
Well, what is that our last topic?
That is our last topic.
I'm done.
Joe, did I read that correctly?
What did you read what correctly today?
This the whole show. Did I read it correct?
He ain't catch no stutter steps, right?
Yeah, so I read it correctly.
I don't know, nigga. You did. What you trying to say earlier?
Just a fan. Did I read that correctly?
Invincible. I forgot what you.
Invincible. Did I read that correctly? Yo, that was the lawyer. That's what the lawyer said over and over. They be like, "Yo, you read very well."
It was, man. But I think the main thing people have to get across is what we've been saying the whole time, and that's you can't let your role models be these super wild, exuberant personalities that have no care for themselves or others. People, if you're gonna be a scumbag and run wild with no care for anyone, let it be because that's what you want to do. Don't let it be because someone's influenced you to do that.
Preach, Tori. What can they find you?
You already know. AfroCommie765 on everything.
Uniqo. Where can they find you at?
UniqoWilliams.com. That gives you a link to all paths that lead you right to me. Like the multiverse.
And his Medea backstory.
Or the time card. What's it called? The time, whatever. Yeah.
Basically, Joe just said, if you click that link, he's basically the one above all.
Oh. Oh.
Monte, where can they find you?
Your boy Monray Hudson, TikTok and Instagram. Click on the link trees, find what I got, and I'm gonna leave y'all with a little snippet I just found out. The Batman 2 has been confirmed with the same director, and Robert Pattinson will be returning. I'm gonna leave y'all.
Hey, I'm with it.
Let's
Venom
go.
3 confirmations.
Yeah, Venom 3.
Oh.
Ghostbusters. Which one? 2 or 3?
What are we gonna get? Are we about to get the
Spider-Verse? Don't do that.
Ghostbusters
Don't do
now?
that, Monray. Across the Spider-Verse.
They killed Carnage. You want them to kill another one? You know what? I'm done.
Noah coming,
I gotta
Tori.
watch it.
I appreciate y'all. By the way, you can like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. We do this every Thursday, top 5 every Friday, Man Cave every Monday. Wednesday we have the Keep It 99s, and Tuesday we have the What's New 99 News meme show. So we appreciate y'all. Links are in the description. All of that. We love you. Peace.
Venom versus Venom.